more from the speaker what exactly is this, why she did, and what exactly was the story. You will listen from the speaker herself. And she did that liver transplantation has been done just to give life to someone very precious. And in spite of that, she won the medals. She won the medals for the country, our country, India. Yes. And here it is, the guest speaker of today's episode, Ankita Srivastava. She is a world record holder, World Transplant Games. She had participated in that. 2 golds, 1 silver for India. And she is also entrepreneur, author, TEDx speaker, and she is also a brand ambassador to multiple government organizations like sports development, women and child development, health department of Madhya Pradesh, multiple private organization, and she also has developed her company, which is into export in more than 29 countries, and she loves books. Yes, she is an author, and also she's a publisher, and this company has a franchise across the India, also in different part of the world. And this company have partnered with Cyber Group Studios, top 10 distributors of the world, Emmy Awards winner, to curate an animation series which is now on air on Discovery Kids in the Middle East and North Africa. So there's a long list, ladies and gentlemen, of the achievements and the contributions of our today's guest speaker. So may I request you all to please give it with us Srivastava on Empowerment Talks 131st episode. So I just pulled on this slide, and I request Ankita Srivastava to address you all and have a conversation with you all. So over to you, Ankita. Floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Kunenji, for inviting me, and thank you, Yash. I think it's an excellent platform that you guys have curated. And my topic, why I chose this topic was just because it's very interesting. Everybody keeps thinking about it. So I just thought that this would be the best way to empower somebody to realize what they are at. And a very common discussion usually used to happen that when a pandemic comes, the world will end. So some will survive, some will not. So we have survived. So it's a very important topic and very close to my heart. So I'm going to do a little discussion of say 5-10 minutes where I'll say my thoughts, and then maybe we can have the question answers, and I'm happy to answer all the questions of all the participants here. So why I chose what I chose. So anybody who's in their 20s wants to become in their teenage years. Anybody who's in their 30s is grasping for 20s. Anybody who's in 40s is trying hard to look like 30, and so on. So the fact remains that today you're the youngest you will ever be. So I usually keep destiny out of discussions as it's our foremost excuse we run to, because destiny did this, so I have landed up here. So destiny will play its role. It's going to hammer you with unpredictable trembles in life, which are beyond our control. So except that, everything is ours to create, but we tend to focus on relying on our destiny still. So I'll give a very short example, which I usually start my speech with. When I was born, or in fact, even earlier, when I was in my mother's womb, my mother fell short of blood, and we were in 93. So the medical procedures in India were a little scarce of a lot of facilities, and the checkup wasn't as perfect. So the person who donated blood to my mother had hepatitis B. So that's how she got hepatitis B. And to a world of fortune and good things that happen to good people, I didn't. And which was very surprising to the doctors as well as everybody in my family, because I was in her womb. So supposedly both of us should have got, but I didn't. So it's just an example of how destiny played its role. So destiny gifted both of us with a very different trajectory. But I still believe that she lived it with much more life than I did. So we are extremely stuck human beings, restricted by circumstances, relationships, and our own mind as well. So we wait far too long to live the ideal life. So how can I get out of this trap? And how I learned it from my mother. It's by saying yes. So choices we make each day are huge game changers. And one such example is my transplant story. So because my mother had hepatitis B, obviously she gave life to me, and it was a very normal decision of me trying and saving her life. So I donated my liver to her. It was a lifetime experience, the most fortunate experience, which I think nobody can experience, if even if they want to, because you pay a wobbling amount of money to experience it. Being sick and going to the hospital is generic. It happens with everybody. You're desperate to feel better. But it's a whole different story to fill your own forms, get the patient uniform, and lie on the bed waiting to get bruised. And it's not an ailment that will die off, will wave off. It will be there for life. So taking such a decision, I think, needs a lot of love in your heart. So it's a tinge away from crazy. And the moment I woke up after the transplant, I knew it wasn't all that fun either. So today also, when I remember those moments, I wake up at night, just like I woke up that night around 3 a.m. in a closed room with no idea, having tons of morphine inside me and wires all across. But that experience is a once in a lifetime experience. My mother couldn't survive, but I think the bigger picture was she survived for a few days, and that was enough. The satisfaction she had that I didn't give up on her was enough. So there's some lessons I've learned, and I just wanted to share it with all of you. So saying yes is not only important, it is interesting. It will revolutionize your life. It's experimental and the best gift you can give yourself. So some people aren't fortunate enough as we are, so we are alive. Make sure you're alive and not dead inside. So leave the Netflix, and me myself being a victim of waking up late. Waking up all night is no rocket science. Getting up early is the real blow. So it shows that you took effort and gave the day the importance it deserves. So do not wait for Corona to go away. Make use of this time to enhance your skills, plan, explore new hobbies, and you will realize you're falling short of time. So everybody is literally bored. I do not find a reason that you should be bored during this time. You have a lot to do, and time is very short, and you're very fortunate that you have this time. Some people have craved for a day more in their life and they do not get it. So we have a choice to make here. One more point which I wanted to discuss was for all the commoners here like me. So there are only two ways to success, which I believe. Either we are born to a royal family, or we have exceptional talent, or we have to create a royal family. Either you can be exceptionally talented that you go swimming and they realize that you're the fastest one and you get driven and then you're in the Olympics. That's the fascinated life that we all want to believe in. But there's a short way that I can explain to achieve success, and that's hard work. And it might make you all flashy, but I'm telling you, everybody who's too famous, who's achieved too much in life, there's a backstory which they do not put on Instagram. It's not on Facebook, but that's the hard work they're putting in, that's the toil they're putting in, and that they do not want to explain. So that is the difference. And if you do not have any kind of hobby or talent or a rich background, there's one thing you have, and that's hard work. That's the only thing I had. I wasn't good in sports, I wasn't good in dance, or I wasn't the most intelligent in my class. There was exceptional level of hard work that I had to put in to achieve. But I realized if I'm working hard, I can do any of the categories. I do not have to choose according to my skill. I choose the skill I like and I get at the top of it. So it's one of my choices. So you can become good at anything. But if you stay with your talent, you cannot improve at anything, right? So wishy washy, whimsicals, and fortunate stories are very few. Word sum is effort driven results that will give you great gifts in life. One more important thing that I want to talk about is it should matter when you do something. So I am a very inspired person. I am always looking out for things, but don't live a robotic, mechanical life. There are enough examples of rich who became poor, poor who turned rich, depression, sickness, it's all around. In such a situation, choose to be a good human being. The satisfaction it gives is beyond explanation. Having a kind heart, those extra $1 million will wash away. Your personality, love, happiness you spread around, that's magical. So good vibes that you spread, they come back to you, right? So but if you give out money, money won't come back to you. So it only happens with positive vibes. So one is keep spreading joy. Remember, when you're frowning, the most upset is your soul. So you have to concentrate on keeping your soul happy. So that's the way it goes. One last point that I want to talk about is regrets. It's the worst ailment people fall off to. Regrets of missed job, proposing, expressing, creating, moving, loving somebody. No gives way more satisfaction. You have to move forward and accept a no gives way more satisfaction and closure than if I would have. That's a killer. So avoid that in life and do it now because you aren't getting younger. So that's kind of the topic that I wanted to discuss on. I'll be very happy to get on to any kind of questions that you might want to ask about my, maybe the health side of it, about the transplant, or about sports, or about life in particular. So I'll be happy to answer. So over to you, Punenji.
Thank you, Ankita ji. It's so powerful. I was just listening your conversation, and you spoke all the words of wisdom, which someone of your young age of just 26. I'm just getting surprised at how can such a young lady, young girl, can have all these powerful thoughts, powerful insights, and at the age of 20 you went through that transplant thing, which was so courageous. So can I know from you what exactly made you, or what exactly made you successful to make that decision? It was your courage, it was your love for your mother, or what exactly was that?
So when it really happened was when I knew that that's the only way she can survive. So we had a very split 30-second discussion when my father said that your mom needs a liver. So I said okay, and that was it. Because I think there should not be a second thought to anybody who's talking about organ donations, and there's a lot of vibe about organ donations at the moment. Because she gave her everything, she gave those 9 months, and she gave life to me. So I couldn't give life to her, I could just give her a few months. So that's the bare minimum that we can do for anybody we love. So it wasn't a discussed decision, it was a spontaneous one.
Wonderful, wonderful. Love is so powerful, that's true. How do you define love, by the way?
Uh, very interesting question. So I think love is about doing something for somebody and not expecting anything in return. And it sounds very flashy. It doesn't happen in real life. In real life, you're expecting a lot of things in return. And I think successful love is when it's from both sides. But it's the most wonderful feeling in the world.
Yeah, makes sense. And another powerful insight what you gave it to our attendees is that the choices, it's all about our choices, what we make every
Yes.
moment. And that's how we build our future. So how do you do, Ankita? How do you make your choices every day, every moment?
So I have a very easy pattern of making choices. So if I'm given an opportunity, 99.9% of the time I'm saying yes to it. That even means that I have extra load of work. So I have my own business also, and then there's sports, and then you have this social motivational sessions going on. So there's a lot of toilsome that happens in this whole effort of keep saying yes. So it does affect your mental and physical strength, but it also gives you way more valuable experiences. So how I have decided how to make a choice is first to say yes. I say yes, and then I analyze it, because once you analyze it, then you're bound to say no, because you come up with your own terms of positives, negatives, and you keep thinking, should I do this? Should I get up in the morning? Can I sleep for another 10 minutes? Should I go and visit that person? There was a guy who had messaged me, should I give them a call? So I keep thinking, and when I keep thinking, eventually I don't do it. So my strategy has always been to first say yes, and then you can analyze it. Even if the work doesn't happen, it's all right. I tried it, I gave it my best, and it didn't happen, and that's okay. I got an experience, and for me, life is all about experiences.
Yeah, makes sense. All the experiences, all the positive experiences, and all the beautiful memories. And you mentioned that you just don't think much, you take action. And what do you say about some people are involved into kind of analysis paralysis kind of things?
Yes,
Uh,
that's a very
what do
good
you
word.
what do you suggest our audience, our attendees, to be away from that analysis to paralysis approach?
So some people, yes, that's a very good term that you used. So some people think too much, and in this process of thinking too much, I'm a Piscean, and Piscean by nature think too much. So and are dreamers, and that's all right. You can keep thinking, but there's an opportunity that's lying just in front of you, and you're just lazy enough to get up and grasp it. Is a whole different story. Because I'll give you an example. So some people tell me that no, you're already doing 10 things, so you shouldn't pick up the 11th one, so that your concentration will die out, which is perfect, that you concentrate on these 10 things and do the best. But my counter question is that I am doing these 10 things in these 5 hours. There are remaining hours in the day when I will go and watch Netflix and chill, or I might not be doing anything constructive with those hours. And I might just make it as an excuse that because I'm so busy and I have so much of stuff already in my basket, I can't take this up. But there's always space for the important things. There's always a choice that you can make, and you should analyze that in those extra hours, what am I doing? Am I concentrating on those 5 important or 10 important things? Then it's all right. But for most of the people, it's like they're tired, or they're too lazy, or corona is the biggest excuse that everybody has come up with. So that shouldn't be the condition. In that case, you should pick up, just say yes, and then pick up that opportunity, and let's see where it goes. Even if it doesn't work, that's all right, but you took it up, and that's the important part.
Yeah, makes sense, definitely. And you also mentioned, Ankita, that it's the positive vibes. So you try to create a positive energy, and as per the law of energy conservation, whatsoever you create, it comes back. So what do you do? How you exactly create the positive vibes, positive energy?
So as a fun fact, or by nature, I'm always happy. My happiness moreover lies in keeping people happy. So I wouldn't like to go with a dull face in a room with okay moods and spoil their mood, or with happy faces and spoil their mood. So, and if they're sad, then obviously I should be the one who's enlightening their day. So it's an attempt. I wouldn't be having a good day every day, or I wouldn't have the brightest of the mornings every day. But it's an effort you do on your behalf. When you go and meet people, it's a choice. If I don't like something about you, I can keep it to myself. And if I like something about you, I can speak it up. But usually we do it the other way around. What we don't like, we express it too expressively, and what we like, we hide our feelings about feeling good about somebody. So I think that should be the more expressive part, and decide on your conversations. And one point that I really think is be kind to people. So everybody thinks in their own space that my life is the most difficult, the most struggle that anybody can see in their life is in my life. And this is not with me. I think this, And everybody else in their own mind is thinking, what a difficult life I've been given. So everybody has their own struggles, and then you can decide how you want to treat that person who's already thinking that their life is the worst. So you have to be kind to people. You have to say the right things. You need not to say things that hurt. I don't know how it's necessary or how it will enhance the situation or make anybody's mood right in the room. So why not then have a happy conversation? Yeah.
That's true. And that's the most challenging aspects. Somebody said that just be happy without any reason. And how do you define happiness, Ankita? And you just live your life, or you do have any specific strategy to keep yourself happy every moment? What do you do to be happy?
So, frankly, I think happiness is also dependent on what you're doing. So, if you're doing things you don't like, you can't be happy. So, you have to choose your battles well. So, for example, what is your passion? What are you doing in your life? So, there are two, three things that a person does in a day. So, one is their job or their business, second is their family, and third is something that they do for themselves. And all these three choices, if they are not up to what your heart wants, then you can't be happy. So, those three choices are the most important choices that you will make in your life, and that will define happiness to you. So, for example, to me, happiness is being busy. I'm very entrepreneurial. I like meeting people. I like working. So I'm a workaholic. I like, and so how happiness comes is also by being inspired. And it's not like I'm always inspired and talking like this, like every moment of the day. It can't happen. That's not possible. But you have to keep filling in your mind with good things, with positive things, with inspirational talks, or with motivation that you get from yourself or others. It's very tiring. It's not an easy process, and it doesn't happen in a flip of a second. So there will be a lot of negative thoughts in your mind, and then you have to decide. I would either mail it to myself, or I would write a note, or I would be in the room, but I wouldn't go out shouting on people that, see, I'm upset because of this. So happiness is a choice that you make every day, and happiness, I think, is totally dependent on your vibe. So someday I will just decide that I am upset for this stupid silly reason on earth, and I will make it a big volcano out of it. So that's a decision that I have to take. One procedure that I always follow is, when I am upset, I will stay alone so that I don't go out hurting everybody else. So that's one thing that I do.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I would like to ask Ankita that you must be having your some daily rituals. You must be having your everyday plan. You must be doing your proper plan for the day. So what do you do? Like what time you get up, and how do you ensure that your day are fruitful? You spend your day and getting the proper result. So what is the strategy? What do you follow?
So usually, yes, it has to be very strategical. It's not like I will get up inspired. So I have to have a very positive plan towards the next day. So I usually decide the previous day what I have to do the next day. And getting up, I usually get up a little late, but I sleep for hardly, I would say, 4 hours or 5 hours, which is less. But I have so much to do that I fall short of time. But what I follow on are two, three things. That one, I will keep it very goal oriented. So it won't go haywire. What I'm trying to do has to have a purpose. So there are two, three things that I believe in a day. There has to be something for your health. So your health, your mind, your soul, these have to be really active. So there are 2 hours that I spend for my workout or yoga or exercise. Then the office hours are usually, because of this COVID and I'm on a lockdown, and because of the transplant, I really cannot go out meeting everybody. But I make sure that I do standing meetings. I call in for people, and when they're down, I try to pull them up, because during lockdown it's very easy that you become lazy. So lazy is the easiest, and corona is the reason. So you have to get up and do something about it. So I usually keep my schedule totally blocked so that you have meetings in very short intervals. So you have enough time to eat and then you're working. So when you're working, your mind is in a much better space. When your mind is empty, then it goes for a wild shot and I can think anything. So it's important to keep myself busy and have a very scheduled game so I don't have time till night. So I plan it such, and for others who might have some time, there's so many things that you can do and come up with at home, outside, wherever you are. But keep your schedule very busy. When it's busy, one, that there's a sense of satisfaction inside yourself that you did something, you acclaimed something in the day. Second, it doesn't make your mind waver off. And those are very important things. Otherwise, we or anybody can fall for the negative trap. So that's what I do.
Very true. And our attendees are appreciating your courage, your and Vifaq Suleiman said a very brave Ankita. And we would like to know, Ankita, that such a short, a small age, 26 is, I consider as a, nothing in front of. So who is basically your motivator? Who inspires you? Who motivates you to take all such courageous steps?
So my mother was my motivator and still is. So and how and why. So she was a person who was full of life and had brought up our family, and I would say she was the foundation, and she was the one who was pulling everybody forward, and was too much full of life. Her schedule would always be blocked with work, with family, and the entire schedule, and with a person who was so full of life. But for, I would say, for 7 years, I saw her struggling with the disease. And that's why I bring in Destiny so often in the discussions. So, Destiny played its role where she had no fault of hers and she got a disease for which she struggled for 7 years. And the last 4 months, I saw her barely struggle for a day or two. However, she could survive for a few days. She would make a diary, she would write notes. She had a lot of plans and she did get an opportunity to work on those. I have got that opportunity and I take it very seriously. I do not take it lightly, and I wouldn't like my age or my anything to come in between, because I've been fortunate. Many people have not been fortunate enough, and I've seen people who wanted to survive had to go away for no rhyme or reason, right? And anybody can. So I take death as a very big motivator also in my life, because you should be scared of the ultimate truth and you should know that it can happen anytime. And when you're living in such unpredictable possibilities, then how come you can't live today? So that's what motivates me every day.
Wow, very inspiring. I'm sure wherever your mother is in the heaven, she must be a proud mother. And as you mentioned that just for the sake of love of your mother, you donated 74% of your liver. So amazing. And that too at the age of just 20 years. So salute to you, Ankita, for all such courageous thing. And my other question is that after going through that transplant, it seems you went to your sports athletes back and then you participated at international level. So how difficult was it to perform on an international level and having the experience of representing the country and winning the medals for the country? Please do share your experience.
Yeah. So I was a national swimmer. I was a national squash player. But post the transplant, I had to leave all the sports, obviously, because of the recovery. And then I got an opportunity to represent India at the World Transplant Games, which is by the Olympics Association. So there were two things that I understood then. One is representing the country, means you have to be the best in your country. And it's a whole different game when you reach there, right? Because there are another 60 countries who are representing and they're best from their countries. And there's a very different upbringing that India has and other countries have. And that is what I've witnessed so far. So one was the preparation that took me there. So I understand the amount of hard work I had put in. And I think I deserved it because exceptional level of effort had been put in to reach there. Once I was there, and I had actually compared my scores from the previous 7 years, and I was expecting myself in the tally, but like for a bronze medal or something. But then once I reached there, I saw all the participants. I saw the ladies there. No, in India we eat paneer and all vegetarians, and there they're eating beef and they're double my size and height, and they have coaches and kids, and they were in a very different zone than the Indian team was. So that did give me a mini heart attack of what I could achieve. But then it's all about skill. It's all about the hard work you've put in before that final day. That's what matters. So final day is just a reciprocation of what you've done throughout these days, and that's how it worked. Because I got a silver in my 100 meters, and I lost to the lady in US, and that was a mental turmoil for me because me as a person, I was expecting a bronze. So for me to get a silver was enough. I was very happy. But that poor lady from US, she was very depressed, and that's where the mental game played. She had got a gold in the last 2 seconds, and she did realize that. So she was upset getting a gold, and me getting a silver. I was out of the world because I was expecting a bronze. So the next day we had the long jump event, and she was a participant in that as well. And that's where the entire mind, body, soul connection happened, because she was so stressed she couldn't perform well. And I was so happy with my silver that I had to care for nobody. So then I got the gold and she got the silver. And that's when the game changed. So I did realize that how much effort, hard work, that's one thing physically, but mental peace is something that plays too much when you're in sports and life, I
Very
guess.
true. Very true. I'm sure that our attendees must be resonating with this statement, what you mentioned. And somebody has rightly said that if you are happy, you will achieve the success. So don't wait to be successful and be happy. Be happy in the present situation, in the current scenario, and definitely you will be successful. And the way you explain, your mental state played a role, important role. And just to inform our attendees that Ankita is the first Indian to win 2 gold medals in the long jump, ball throw, and a silver in 100-meter sprints. So bravo, congratulations. And our attendees, Nilesh is giving you best wishes, and he says that pray you would go on representing India in future events and win laurels for our country. So wish you all good luck, Ankita, for all your future events, and please bring more medals to our country. Now, going forward to other question, Ankita, which is related to your another journey, which is, I'm sure our attendees must be interested to know, you are also a TEDx speaker. So how exactly it happened, and what was your experience of being a speaker, and that too TEDx speaker? Please do share your experience.
So I think that happened very automatically because it was in the news, it was flashing all around that I had won medals for the country. So it came into notice for everybody. And actually, the games happened in UK, Newcastle, in United Kingdom. And I was supposed to go to Ireland for another 7 days for an official trip and then return back to India. So my winning medals for India had already circulated in the market too much, and everybody knew about it. So by the time I reached back India, I had all these offers from different marketing resources and from the TEDx community as well. So the medals were the reflection of speaking, and I think it was an amazing event. I had such experienced profiles besides me, and because there were 5 speakers, and I was so thrilled because I had just not achieved anything, and I was suddenly a star after achieving medals for the country. So it was an instant scale of height, and then meeting all these wonderful celebrities who are there from decades. It was a wonderful experience, and just the magnanimity of the occasion is also extremely humble. When you're there as a TEDx speaker, it's a different feeling, and it is an amazing experience to live by. So I hold it very close to my heart. You are on mute. Yeah.
That's great. And question I wanted to ask, Ankita, is that you are also a publisher,
Yes.
or you are also an author, and also you're running some publication companies.
Yes.
So please
Yes.
do share with us what exactly this book is all about. Yeah.
Yes. So one, I was an author when I became an author when I was in my school days. So in my teenage years, I had written a novel. That's how it started. We used to run a publishing company that's separate. We are basically into the media and entertainment business. We have our own intellectual property. So something like Mickey Mouse is a character. We have a character called Purple Turtle. It's in 25 countries through books. And right now, the first animation series is airing on Discovery Kids in Middle East and Northern Africa, which is a co-production with the ex-president of Walt Disney. So he's our co-producer, our distributor, and we have a lot of Emmy Award winners who made the scripts for us, an Emmy Award musician. So that's how basically we are in the entertainment business for children content. So preschoolers is our forte.
Great. And what exactly is your goal or the target as an entrepreneur? What exactly you want to achieve, Ankita?
So Forbes 500 is the target.
Wow.
That's where I want to reach. And presently, we are looking to bring valuation in the company because it has scaled to a certain level, and we are obviously expecting it to rise way beyond. So our aim is to come in the children's category in the entertainment business and make the IP as popular as possible. So something like a Peppa Pig. So I believe I want to make Purple Turtle the next Peppa Pig. That's the
Very
plan.
good. Wish you all good luck, and I am sharing your all social media details with our attendees. And ladies and gentlemen, you can visit Instagram, LinkedIn, or the website of Ankita to know more about her and to know more about her achievements. And just to let you know, Ankita has won various awards, as she mentioned, the Purple Turtle Brand Innovation of the Year 2015, Licensing Award 2019, and then Award of Excellence for Best Short Competition 2014, Excellent in Sports, a Sports Person of the Year, Contribution to Organ Donation, All India Women's Club Shining Award. So when you receive all such awards, so many awards, Ankita, how do you feel and what's the message to attendees?
I think that's the last stage of the work that you do. Receiving an award is an appreciation of all the efforts that you've done. So that comes way later. I think the process is what everybody has to concentrate on, and it's a very long process. And one more very important thing that I want to talk about is it's not just one thing. So I've done this, and as an entrepreneur, I'm doing something. As a sports person, I'm doing something. And for my health, as I've done something already, I have to take care of that as well. So you have to keep experimenting and innovating and doing new things. So it's not like I create one good movie and it becomes a hit and then I sit and enjoy the fruits of it for the rest of my life. So it's a very ongoing process. And even if you do achieve something in life, the most important lesson is to not stop there and keep doing good things. Otherwise, you will flash off. There are too many people in the world to come over you. So you have to keep doing the effort. It's not like one shot and it's done.
Yes, you're right. We once you achieve to a certain position, it's very challenging to maintain that position.
And,
And I'm sure the person like you, once you achieve the success, definitely you look for the bigger picture, higher goals, and definitely you can't be stopped with your passion, your energy, your commitment, and your desire to be more successful. So what exactly keeps you inspiring every day?
I think it's a very tough process. It's not one thing, it's a lot of things. One primary thing is, which I say in a lot of discussions of mine, the five people who are in your life, the closest five people who are there in your life, they play a very important role. So choose them wisely. So if they are happy, inspiring, motivated people towards life, then you become a persona of those people. So, and there's a soul of yours. But if those five people are sad, or they're struggling, or they're too negative, then it vibes out on you as well. So people are very important. People who are close to you, that's very important. What you watch and what you hear is very important. So be careful of what you're watching. It goes inside you. So we think that we are watching it, but it's actually going inside our mind. What we are hearing, it's not just we are hearing it, it's going inside our mind. And what we are eating, that's going inside us. So these are three very important things. So what you eat, you have to be very careful. What you're listening to, you have to be very careful, and what you're watching. So watch the right kind of content, watch the right kind of stuff, hear to the right people, and listen to the right things. That will keep you inspired all the time. If you are in the wrong discussion, in the wrong room, it's best that you move out. If you think it's a waste of time, move out. So that's a very important choice that you have to make. So those are the stuff that I follow.
Great. I think I am taking all your suggestions and I will definitely follow. But what is your specific advice to the youngsters, to the young generation, to the youth?
Very good question. So I don't know. I'm a little disappointed about the youth and how they are performing. One thing that they have to understand, that youth is an asset in itself. Your youth is an asset, and it will fade away. Ask your parents and they will tell you how important is young age, how important are teenage years, how important is your youth, and it will fade away so quickly that you won't even come to know. So this time is very important. Do not waste it in the most reckless of ways that you can, or we all are doing. So let us understand what we have. Maybe you are not talented, maybe you don't have the skill, maybe you don't have the education, the money. I'm all okay with it. You have your age, and that's a very, very big factor. You can work so hard. I at my 60 can't work as hard as I can work now, or I can't put in as much effort as I can put now, or I can't talk to so many people, watch so much stuff, do so much stuff as I can do now. So the youth has to be really careful of what they're doing, and use their time wisely. It will go in such a fast motion that you've never seen. So you have to be very careful of what you're doing, and hard work. So you're watching the celebrities, and you can keep scrolling your Instagram and keep hoping that you were Saif Ali Khan's son, and that won't happen. So what you have is a very big resource. You have to use that wisely. So don't scroll Instagram. Start finding your own content, put it there, and people will scroll yours. So that's my suggestion to the youth.
Wow, so powerful and so profound. So thank you so much, Ankita Srivastava, to coming on this platform and empowering all of us. And I'm sure that our attendees got benefited with your insights, with your powerful thoughts and great ideas and suggestions. So thank
Thank you.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
I will connect